I've got the perfect recipe to up your barbecue game. Sweet and spicy bourbon back ribs. Let's get going. Today in the test kitchen, we're gonna take some back ribs. We're just gonna put salt and pepper on them, put them in the smoker, and then we're going to put a sweet heat glaze on it and put it in the broiler for 15 minutes. That's what we're gonna accomplish together. For recipes and techniques, don't forget to subscribe right here. Let's get started. So beef back ribs are a 7-bone rib collection. You might look at this and think, oh, that looks kind of like baby backs. Well, it's the bovine version, right? So this is 7 bones. It comes from what would be the prime rib. The boneless rib roast would be right here, and if I had this still attached, it'd be a prime rib or standing rib roast. So we just asked the butcher to pull these back ribs off and keep the meat intact in between the bones, and we're ready to go for the smoker. So let's get this seasoned up and put them in the smoker. All I'm gonna do is put coarse kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper all over this, but it is a good chance if you want to put a special rub on, you can do that. I'm kind of liberal with the seasoning because I want it to be all throughout. And then you can, if you'd like, pull the membrane off of the back like you would baby back ribs. That's an optional. You don't have to pull that off. But if you were to do so, you want to catch a corner of it and peel that off. If it doesn't come off easily, you can use a paper towel technique where you fold a paper towel and that helps you pinch what can be hard to grab with your fingers. See how that then comes up? And hopefully it can pull across in one uniform piece. So this is coming off kind of nicely. This is just a membrane that's on the back ribs. Again, it's optional to peel this off, but let's go ahead and do it since we talked about it. And then the excess fat can also just be scooped out with a spoon, okay? Just the excess, don't worry about getting all of it. And there we're pretty prepared for the smoker. Put a little bit of salt and pepper. This is hard to stay on here, but it's still worth putting on the back of it, okay? And then we can put salt and pepper on the other one. This one I'm going to elect not to take the membrane off, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to take these to the smoker. We're going to put them in there at about 225 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours, all right? So I'll bring those out and show you what that looks like. We'll glaze them and put them in the broiler. While the back ribs are in the smoker, we're going to take advantage of that time and get our glaze ready. So I'm going to take some barbecue sauce and put that in a saucepan. We're going to put all these ingredients in our saucepan. Barbecue sauce, and just use your favorite. This happens to be Sweet Baby Ray's, which is a good versatile barbecue sauce. Bourbon, so that was a cup of barbecue sauce. 1/4 cup of bourbon or whiskey, whatever you want to use. And if you want it to be without alcohol, just don't put it in, you're okay. Tablespoon of soy sauce and sriracha. Put that over medium heat and let it come to a boil. Really, we're just trying to thicken this. So it's reducing it so it's nice and thick so we can glaze these back ribs. It won't take but 5 minutes. After it comes to a boil, I reduce it to a medium or low temperature for about 5 minutes. The result will end up being about a cup of sauce. You can really tell it's ready by the thickness as it comes across the spoon and pours down. Just another minute. The idea is you're just trying to regain the consistency back to the original barbecue sauce. So the amount of liquid we have from the bourbon reduced off and that flavor concentrated within. Oh, this smells so good. Right out of the smoker, back ribs. So they're tender right here between the bone and ready to put glaze on and go into the broiler. Our sauce that we just did, generously all over these back ribs. Well, the meat, I should say, because you really don't put it on the bone. And it's up to you whether you want to put it on both sides, but really I'm going to concentrate this all on the top and just broil it from the top. You can keep some extra sauce for dipping. I highly recommend that. So I've put about 1/2 to 2/3 of this sauce on these 2 back ribs. And we'll keep this for after. And then into a broiler, set on high for 5 minutes. That's all it's going to take. Back ribs right out of the broiler. The reason we use the broiler, because the high heat super close to these sets that barbecue sauce perfectly, kind of dries it out just a little bit, but it stays nice and sticky. Too long and you're gonna burn this, and you're gonna know because that sugar in there is gonna start burning and smoke out your oven. You don't wanna do that. So just real quick. Now let's slice these things up. If you do not have a smoker, you can still do this. It's just you won't have that smoke flavor into these back ribs. That's okay. You'll still get this recipe from this glaze on it. That's fantastic. You could do this whole thing in the oven is the point. So you could go nice and low and slow with the back ribs and then put the glaze on and finish with that high heat with the broiler, all in your oven inside. No problem. So it's cooled just enough for me to touch these bones. We'll go ahead and slice them up and plate them up. I find it's easier to slice back ribs from this side because I can see where the bones are and I can know exactly where to land in between these back ribs. Oh my gosh, these look so good. Plate these up and you can put that extra sauce with it like we talked about. So there you have it, sweet and spicy beef back ribs. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for joining us in the test kitchen. We'll see you again soon.